For 2 centuries, building a global industrial power required accepting two massive realities: staggering capital expenditures and severe environmental degradation. It also required locking entire economies into fragile, centralized shipping networks, where a single delay at a major port could ripple across the globe. Additive manufacturing offers a different route. By shifting from physical machining to digital to physical fabrication, African nations can leapfrog the heavy capital requirements of 20th century legacy infrastructure. Instead of relying on a single, centralized hub pushing goods across vulnerable oceanic trade routes, production can be distributed into localized nodes right where the demand exists. There is, however, a catch. Deploying a fleet of robotic extruders or metal powder bed fusion machines accomplishes nothing without a workforce actually capable of mastering digital design and systems engineering. Hardware procurement cannot buy industrial sovereignty. That requires a systemic recalibration of how an entire generation learns to solve problems. That recalibration is starting at the grassroots level, in places like Nairobi, Kenya. At the Lavington Girls' School Unity Art Club, students are getting early, direct exposure to 3D printing technology. The pedagogical goal here is highly specific: to collapse the distance between a fluid, abstract idea in a sketchbook and a tangible, physical object you can hold in your hand. When you can print what you draw, what used to be considered an impossible geometry is no longer a barrier. It becomes an engineering constraint, waiting for an optimized mathematical solution. This educational approach mirrors the Stoic concept of amor fati, a willing embrace of the chaotic, iterative process of creation. It teaches youth to expect failure and use it as a necessary step to refine a design. Early exposure to this continuous cycle builds advanced spatial reasoning. These students bypass basic machine operation and directly learn the algorithmic thinking required to actively shape their own environments. This grassroots mindset is scaling rapidly through formal institutional capacity. Strathmore University's iLab Africa Research Center has made major financial investments in 3D infrastructure, running intensive, multi-week courses in digital modeling and design. These university programs function as direct pipelines, equipping students with the technical foundation to launch commercial hardware startups. Similar integration is happening in younger core STEM offerings, with institutions like Sabis International School weaving robotics and 3D printing directly into their daily curricula. Academic infrastructure relies on a broader ecosystem. Through the triple helix model, these nations are intertwining academic research with supportive government policy and aggressive industrial application. The academic strand is already producing rigorous output, particularly from established hubs in South Africa like Wits University and the Central University of Technology. By embedding additive manufacturing laboratories at every educational tier, the continent is systematically building a highly capable cadre of strategic innovators. The ultimate payoff of this educational groundwork is the ability to bypass the massive capital bottlenecks of legacy-heavy industry. Designers can apply design for additive manufacturing to process native titanium directly into high-value components for the global aerospace sector. Engineers are utilizing advanced digital twins, virtual real-time replicas of physical systems, combined with statistical process control to guarantee the microstructural quality of complex biomedical implants. At the macro scale, operators can deploy rapid 3D concrete printing to systematically address systemic urban housing deficits. Across aerospace, healthcare, and construction, this additive-first blueprint translates local materials and engineering into localized production autonomy. The convergence of decreasing hardware costs and highly accessible design software has created a window of kairos, an opportune moment for action. The analytical conversation around global supply chains is shifting away from the sheer speed of mass production. The true advantage now lies in digital agility and decentralized resilience. By mastering these digital tools and embracing the iterative process of creation from the ground up, African nations are actively writing a self-determined industrial future, one printed layer at a time.